Hey y'all, my name is Jasmine Jones and I am a licensed clinical social worker, and you are now watching Black Girl, a Therapist in the Wild, and this is a little show I like to call Therapist Sips and Reviews. Today we are reviewing P-Valley Season 2, Episode 5, White Knight, and Episode 6, Savage, and we are sipping on grape juice and vodka, yes. Feel a little more somber this evening after watching those two episodes. They were very traumatic and triggering, both as a Black woman and just as someone who has suffered from trauma and works with trauma patients and things like that. It was a lot. So I hope everyone that could and is able to take care of yourselves, do self-care, do something relaxing. I just started a new hobby. I am making polymer clay jewelry. It's been interesting so far. And also relaxing. So let's see how long I'll keep this up, as I like to pick things up and then get bored and put them down and then pick them up. So we shall see. As you notice, all the books around me that I have partially read and I have not finished. But books are comforting to me. They've always been comforting ever since childhood. But anyways, let's get into this evening's affair. We're going to start with episode 5, White Knight. So I love how, Uncle Clifford just narrates the fuck out of this episode. It's magical, it's noir, it's fairy tale, it's just reality. It's everything. And it tells the story of Keyshawn and how she got to where she got. And this is why, I keep repeating that we will constantly have a compulsion to repeat our traumas if we don't become healed. All the things she's went through is not her fault at all. But, I always like to say, we cannot stop the predators from being predators. They're going to make their own life choices. They're going to deal with their traumas in their own ways. So all we can do is try to prevent them from getting too close to us. See them before they come and try to prevent them from getting too close. So in this story, I shall iterate how, not necessarily these things could have been avoided, but how they kept happening, basically. So we start off with Keyshawn. So she's always been put down for her color. She's the most beautiful woman on the show. I don't care what nobody says, whatever. They said, let's find the most beautiful dark-skinned Black woman we can find, and they found her. She looks like a fucking Cupid doll. And of course, colorism has reared its ugly head and made her feel like she's not, or she has to do even more to look gloriously beautiful than she already is. And I'm just like, colorism is trash. And so she lives with her dad and her stepmom and her two sisters. We're doing a little Cinderella tale here. And basically her stepmom, I'm not going to say she stole her dad from her mom. I'm going to say her dad cheated on her mom with her stepmom. There you go. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to give these men the leeway to be stupid. No, they know what they're doing when they do it, and then they end up hurting other people around them, and then we all end up looking at the other woman as if, it's the other woman. No, it's the man's fault. It's his fault. He cheated. So he ends up cheating on Keyshawn's mom with her stepmom. They end up getting together. Her two daughters move into the house. Now, her two daughters are decent human beings. They don't make fun of her. They don't make her feel bad about herself. It's all in the stepmother. It's all coming from the stepmother. She makes her feel less than. She praises her daughter's lighter skin and, smoother, curlier hair over Keyshawn's. She just makes her feel like shit all the time. And so growing up in that and then going to school, and there was this one scene where this football player, this Black dude, came up and tried to talk to Keyshawn after she didn't make the, cheerleading tryouts, and basically called her a ugly black nugget or some stupid shit. I'm just like, do you not see her face? Are you crazy? I'm just, and then that's where we meet Derek. So she meets Derek in high school. He's part of the cheer squad. He's the bottom part of the pyramid that holds the bitches up and stuff like that. And I guess he does cheers too. I don't know. But from jump, I knew something was wrong with him when he wouldn't stop beating the brakes off of that football player, that black dude. I knew the second red flag I saw was when the black dude got suspended, but he didn't, and he was just nonchalant about it. Like, oh, even Uncle Clifford in her narrations was talking about, oh, the other side of the tracks. Oh, it's enticing, to be with something forbidden. Like Keyshawn is this forbidden fruit, and that's the only reason he chose her. Basically, he's trash. He was trash from the beginning, but Keyshawn has always been running towards freedom. But she was not raised in a way where she knows how to get it herself. Now, some of us is innate. Some of us, we are born with the ability to take care of ourselves and to fight and to have resilience, because Keyshawn has a backbone. It's just that she hasn't honed it yet. Like when she was cussing Rome out and telling him what she was looking for and why she wouldn't have sex with him, it's there. She has the ability to hone her backbone and fight against these people, but she doesn't know how. It's like having a superpower you never used before, and you didn't even know it was there before, and it comes out in little spurts and moments, but you still just, it's sporadic. You don't know how to use it. So she was in this situation where she literally thought she ain't shit. She ain't never gonna be shit. So here comes this white man to save me. He protected me from this black man that called me a black nugget. So obviously that should mean that he's going to be my protector, my savior. And that's the second place where things get messed up, because she can't help the household she came from. She was already being emotionally abused by stepmom in the household. And then microaggressions throughout her life, I'm sure, of colorism, beating her down. So all of this primed her and tenderized her to be taken advantage of by this abusive white man. Now, Keyshawn is constantly looking for a quick fix to the troubles in her life. She doesn't trust in herself to save herself. She's never learned how to trust in herself. So each situation that happens where these predators are coming after her is because they see that she is vulnerable, and they take advantage of that vulnerability of her not having boundaries. They take advantage of her hope with Rome. We see intersperses of the scenes with Rome in between her flashback scenes and things like that. And we see that, Keyshawn sees Rome as another savior. This man's come along. She sees Jocelyn as another savior when she's at the strip club doing the performance in Atlanta, and Jocelyn Hernandez is, what is it? Not headlining, the MC of the night. And, she just has stars in her eyes when she sees Jocelyn. I see Jocelyn, I'm just like, they really played her song on this show. And then I was like, she beat the brakes off them girls and then paid them off, and now she gets to be on people. But whatever. When you ain't came from nothing, that looks like something, and it is what it is. So I can't even, So she sees people that have obvious negative qualities as her savior at every turn. And these people take advantage of that hope. They see the hope shining in her eyes. They make her false promises, which she immediately believes, because she's looking for a quick freedom. Freedom doesn't come quickly, sis. Even if you can get out of the situation quickly, you're going to have years of healing. Years of healing from that trauma that you have to actively want to work on, And so, realizing that things don't come easy like that is a hard lesson to learn. But is worth it. We can't keep searching for quick, because that's blood in the water to predators, because these predators are not going to go after people. Let me put it this way. They want to go after the easiest catch. The easiest catch is the ones that don't have boundaries, the ones that don't immediately see that there's something wrong with them, and the ones that don't like themselves. Those are easy ones to get because you can manipulate them easily. If you go after a bitch like me, I'm going to question. I'm like, why is this? And why is that? And what is this? And this is not to say that Keyshawn is stupid, because she was able to just quickly clock that, okay, the lace front deal fell through. Now you want me to do stripper shoes? Because I saw what she was trying to do with the lace front deal. She's trying to move away from stripping, and she figured the lace front deal would be her way out of stripping. She got the eyelashes. Next is the lace front. She gonna get into hair because she used to love doing hair. This is gonna be a whole thing for her. This nigga is out here just trying to fuck her, really. And so, you can see in her conversation, like, this isn't going to reach a big enough market. This is a small market. 3% of like strippers, that's not going to be enough money for me to build anything off of that I really want to build. And so she's not stupid. It's just impulse. So a lot of times when we make decisions, we make them off of impulse, and we don't want to listen to our instincts, which are saying like, he did act kind of shady when that man got shot by the police. He is kind of argumentative and starting stuff with Teak. Like, Teak don't be doing much. He just was sitting there watching the news. This nigga was the one that turned the TV off. She don't look at them little things and be like, let me question these things. He sure is making a lot of promises. Let me just hold back and make sure them promises fall through before I am alone with him in a room. Shit like that. Because she wants the freedom now. So whatever she can do to get freedom now, she will overlook all that shit. And that is how we end up with the compulsion. That is one of the ways. With the compulsion to repeat trauma is she has so much hope that she's impulsive with it, and she doesn't see things clearly when these dudes around her or people around her are trying to take advantage of her. Until some bullshit happens, then she's like, fuck. And we just need to get her in the beginning so she can see. It doesn't mean that she couldn't have went on a road trip with him. It just means, well, I'm not going to be alone in the room with him. I'm not going to let him treat my friends like this. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Like giving them the poor rooms and shit like that. Not, that's a sign to say something's wrong with him. But if you're not trained to have boundaries and have parents that taught you it was okay to say no, okay to communicate how you feel, to say when you don't like something, and they listened to you when you did it, because she read that fucking stepmom for Phil. I don't give a fuck with nobody. but nobody came to help her. Her dad wasn't there to support her. Her dad didn't say, you don't talk to my fucking daughter like this. How about that? No, all he saw was with his dick. So it's like you don't learn how to use it. You don't know it's there until you're pushed to a limit. We want to get you when you don't have to be pushed to the limit. You can just kind of see from just observing and listening to somebody when you first meet them that something's off. And then the more you observe and listen, before you get emotionally attached basically to a person that is toxic, to where it can hurt your feelings or make you feel like you're beholden to them. We want to get you before that happens. So we want to get you right in the beginning when you first meet somebody. Start noticing signs and patterns. Start noticing consistencies and inconsistencies of behavior. And this stuff isn't things you have to look for. It's things that when your radar goes up and you're just questioning, like, why is he talking like that to such and such? Why does he treat such and such like that? Because they're not going to treat you like that in the beginning, for the most part. Some do, but those ones make it really obvious. So it's like you don't really have to look for patterns and connect dots with them. They just calling you an asshole, a bitch, a hoe to your face from jump. And at that point you got to see this. You got to see this and you got to go. So with her, it was just kind of like, Derek's going to get me out of this situation. He makes me feel beautiful. This is the first time I've ever felt beautiful with a man. And all these other bitches is making me feel bad about myself. And so at least he makes me feel beautiful. And it's like, There's more to life than just feeling beautiful, honey. So her goal was to feel beautiful and feel wanted with Derek. And then it turned into some bullshit because Derek has issues. And then with Rome, her goal with him was freedom. Rome, all you see is freedom when you look at Rome. You don't see who he really is as a person. That was the problem. And so as we move in this world, we have to recognize when we're seeing what a person can do for us, but we're not really seeing who they actually are. because that's what's going to get us caught up in some bullshit, because these predators can see that we only see them for that, and they will take advantage of the vulnerability that we have. They see the desperation of wanting to be loved, and that's it. That's all I want. I don't care about anything. It's like, no, honey, you can want to be loved, but you also want to be respected. You want to be liked. You want the person to just all the shit that people put on the list of things they want in a relationship and shit. You want all of that. You know what I mean? You don't just want love. You want this person to be emotionally stable. You want this person to listen to you. All the things that come with love. You don't want them to just say, I love you, hit you in the face, and then say, I love you, and fill up a room full of roses with a baby crib the next day. Like, no, bitch. No, bitch. I don't care about this room full of roses. Fuck all this. And her stepmom is trifling. If she had ended up dead, they probably would have put it off on her. Like, oh, no, she was trying to get away. She had nowhere to go. So her idealized love became her trap. And then her idealized freedom tried to become her trap. And now she's done. She's at a place where she's ready to leave. She just doesn't know how to leave. And I'm so glad that she's gotten to this place where she's ready to leave. This nigga took I don't know what he took out the car, because the Prius, I was like, is that the battery? Because the Prius battery is big and it's underneath the car. So maybe he cut the wire, because I had a Prius before I had a Wrangler. So I'm just like, I thought the big battery was under the car, and then the regular car battery was in the trunk. So he must have cut some wires or did something. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe because it was an old Prius too. Let me shut up. He still got that Prius from high school. And that Prius was old in high school. I'm tired of this nigga. And so she ready to go. She tried to, what love got to do with it, and get in the car with the kids and her gun and get the fuck up out of there. And it didn't happen because this nigga cut the wires or did some shit or something. Oh, I hate this nigga. He just is dirty. He looks like he's got issues. He just is hurting her. And I'm just like, you know what I said last video? People that are hurting, depressed, anxious, they are stewing in it, maybe hurting themselves sometimes, but it doesn't spread out to anybody else. Like, they don't actively want to hurt other people to feel better. Now, there are people that like Teak, lash out, when they just get overwhelmed, but it's not a calculated thing that they're doing. It's more of a, I am exploding, so now I'm going to attack you. It's not okay, because then people can end up being abusive and beating women too, beating their partners too. But, for the most part, people that are sad and stewing in it don't necessarily usually hurt other people. They don't, it's the millions of people out there that go to therapy, or the millions of people that aren't ready for therapy, but they're just they have functional depression, or they're just functioning with bipolar, or they're just functioning with schizophrenia. They're just trying their best. I give those folks all the fucking time in the world to heal. But them motherfuckers that are calculatedly hurting people, fuck you. You ain't shit. I don't care what the fuck you went through, because now you're spreading it around. He's talking about, oh, my dad used to beat me, and okay, so you're gonna beat your fucking child. See, and I had to take a moment, because I don't do that shit with children. But I had to take a moment, because I had to tell myself, okay, it takes a while to leave. That did push her over the edge to actually want to leave. So now maybe she'll make a plan to leave. But for a moment, I was just like, why is she still in the house? And he did that to her child. Fuck all that. When she was sitting there yelling at him after she came back from the doctor, I was like, girl, you can't just stand there and yell. You have to have a knife with you. Stab that nigga in the shoulder. See, but let me stop, because she would have went to jail. Just like that woman that shot that nigga that was beating her in the garage, and he didn't die, but she went to jail because of assault. And it was in the same place that, whatchamacallit, what's his name, Trayvon Martin was killed, and she was trying to do stand your ground, and she couldn't do it because she was black. I'm tired. So it becomes a gray, sticky area when you're in an abusive relationship and you're trying to leave. I'm just glad she's gotten to the place where she wants to leave, because he can murder them children. He could murder them children. Them children could have been murdered while she was going. Now she can't go on a tour. I hope not. I hope she doesn't leave them kids with him again because he's crazy. And I'm just like, it makes me think of that woman that was on Oprah and she was getting beat by her husband every day and he would videotape it and she would go to work with bruises and her coworker would document every time she went into work with the bruises. And he was videotaping the abuse too, but they said that he wouldn't have went to jail just off them tapes. He went to jail because her coworker documented every bruise every day when she came into work. Showed that he was assaulting her over a long span of time. Then I think got like 20 years. And it's just like, you have to do all of that just to get these niggas in jail. And I'm just like, you know what? I can't be mad. I can't, because this is a fucked up country. This is a fucked up world. And Keyshawn is a dark-skinned black woman. She's just going to have to do the best she can do. I hope. I hope she... You know what? Maybe I've been reading too many enemies to lovers books, but when Wody slipped that fentanyl into Rome shit, girl, I was just like, I don't believe you shouldn't kill nobody. You should not kill people. Let me preface this because y'all gonna be like, is she saying murder's okay? You should not kill, but when you grow up in a certain environment and you know that niggas can get murdered off of shit and niggas can, there's only so many options you have. And so I'm not gonna judge. I'm just gonna say like, you know, that nigga is a protector. That nigga's he protects people. Like, that nigga said, oh, you got a video of my homeboy and his nigga? Oh no, we are in the South. They out here taking away abortion rights. Oh, you not about to get my friend killed. You not about to sexually assault my other friend. Bitch. And he slipped that fentanyl and he got a nigga fentanyl and shit, and like one crumb of that can kill you. You know, that's how much on Euphoria. That's how much Rue was taking. She was taking like 3 crumbs a day. And I was just like, oh hell no. He had to do what he had to do for the cause. And at the end when Uncle Cliff was talking about white knights and how people can be angels of death and this ain't your regular old fairy tale and shit, I was like, yes, bitch. Yes, Rome had to go. Rome was fucking wildin'. He had fucking orgies in his hotel room and shit. He's just, when you are so extreme in multiple areas of your life, I look at you cautiously because that means that you have issues with balance. And if you have issues with balance, then that could affect my life. So the fact that he was that extreme with his sexual escapades, he kept like pushing Teak. Like, he didn't give a fuck. That nigga could fucking snap his fucking neck. He wasn't just like, they were the same size, give or take, but that nigga got like a lot of mental health issues and he could black out and not feel any pain and snap your shit, and he wasn't scared of that. Like, this nigga something's wrong with him. So, you know, he was causing issues and problems to the storyline, and Lil Murda does not need to be outed in front of everybody like that. Like, I'm tired. That's probably gonna be the last episode of the season. That should get released. You know what? I'm tired. You don't just out people. You don't threaten to out people. What the fuck? Especially not in a place where they kill people. Like for even glancing at the same sex in a suspicious way. You know, I'm tired. But yeah, like, after all that, somebody defended her. Even though he was mostly defending his friend, he defended her too. It was for her too. And I'm just like, I don't think she get with him or nothing, because she belongs to Diamond. Diamond over here fucking this Miss Thickums or whatever her name is, thinking about Keyshawn and shit. But I was just like, that was beautiful. Death is wrong, y'all. Don't kill people. It's wrong. But anyways, yeah, Keyshawn is getting to the place she needs to be. So I'm excited to see her lead this nigga. So, that's what I was going to say. So, you know, if Wody could do that with Rome, I'm just wondering, like, but she doesn't know yet that he killed Rome. I'm just wondering Niggas be talking about, I wish my marriage could be like back in the day with my grandma and grandpa in the 1950s. Bitch, you know how many of these old women were killing these niggas for abusing them? It is what it is. It's an old tradition to save yourself from somebody that's abusive. So if that's what happens in the show, it happens in the show. I'm not condoning any sort of murder of any kind to any of your partners or spouses or anything or anybody. But in the context of this story and where it's going, I will not be upset to wherever they take it. God bless. Yes. So anyways, that was episode 5. And like I said, it was triggering because I was like, when Uncle Clifford was talking about, like, where are the men that will love us and protect us and care for us, and are they just in our fantasies? Are they not real? And that I was just, where are y'all? Where are y'all niggas? I'm tired. Where are the stable, emotionally stable? Why women gotta experience that over? And she had plenty of men around her to help her. She had plenty of people around her to help her to you know, to save her, you know, to prevent her from going down these directions and things like that. She just wanted to be loved, y'all. She just wanted love because nobody was loving her. If somebody had been loving her, you know, and even her stepmother's hatred towards her is still a part of the patriarchy. She was doing that for the sake of a man. She hated her stepdaughter for the sake of a fucking man. Fuck these niggas. You know, I was watching this video about this dude that was like horribly abused by his mother. And we were talking that he was a black man and his black mother, and he was talking about that's why he stays away from black women because his mother horribly abused him, and I'm sorry that happened to him. God bless him. All I could think about was, this is, even if your mother abuses you as a black boy, it still stems from the patriarchy most of the time, because statistically speaking, most women in the world have had some negative experience with a man. Like, you gotta look up the statistics. There's articles and shit about it, okay? Statistically speaking, at some point in your timeline, some woman in your family has experienced some bullshit with men. These mothers that abuse their boys have probably experienced some severe abuse with men, to the point where they cannot have a cohesive relationship with any man. So what they do is they take all of that bullshit they dealt with men and put it on their sons. And that's fucked up. Like I said, I don't care what your trauma's been. You need to go to fucking therapy. That's why these boys and men are running around here all fucked up anyways, because of this abuse and shit. No, nigga, no, it's not an excuse. It's just, I just want you to see how deep the patriarchy has fucked up society. Because if this was a matriarchal society, I'm just curious, you know, if women were the majority leaders in the country and in the world, and women were the ones doing all the things, I'm just curious to see what that would look like over a few hundred years. Who knows? I'm not saying that all women are just, you know, because of the patriarchy, but it's just like a good portion of them are. So I'm wondering, you know, what that would look like, what men would look like, you know. Would it look like Star Trek? Everybody's just like happy and, you know, loving each other and not racist or misogynistic or whatever. That's why I like Star Trek. It's just like they want us to believe in this perfect world with these aliens that are, you know, far away trying to destroy the perfect world, but everyone else in the perfect world is happy and we've gotten rid of like all of the bad things and stuff. I don't know. But even in that, it's like sometimes I feel like the empathy isn't there sometimes in those perfect world scenarios. Like what was I watching? I was watching the Orville the other day, and the last episode was some bullshit. Like, this nigga, for real, like, there was an accident on the ship. He went back in time to 2015, found this bitch, married her, had kids. These niggas finally fixed their spaceship to go get him. And they were 10 years early. Come to find out, he was happy with kids. And they were like, you broke the space-time continuum, and we can't play God with time. And I'm just like, but didn't you just look up this nigga's, history on the computer before you found him so that you could find him? Why wouldn't you just look up this nigga's, like, generational timeline into the future to see if his children are little Jack the Rippers and cause all these issues, or if everything just went the same? And then giving him an option. But instead, no, what they did was they said, we have this hard, fast rule. We don't give a fuck. And so we're going to just go and pick you up a month from when you landed here, basically officially killing off his family. They never existed. And I'm just like, what is this? What kind of narcissistic, sociopathic? I'm just side-eyeing. I'm like, this is supposed to be an homage to Star Trek. The Orville's a good ass show, and I'm just like, this went completely left. I was just, you're just gonna kill the children. You're not even gonna try to give him options, and then the audacity for this nigga they get him a month out from when he landed on that motherfucker. Then audacity for him to be like, I understood why you guys had to do what you did. I was being so selfish. How are you being selfish when they could have looked it up, nigga? I'm sorry. This is a whole different show. It applies, though, because I feel like, sometimes we want this perfect fucking world, and there's little pockets within these perfect worlds that, like, lack empathy. So I don't know what the opportunistic, what would be the goal, the end game of, like, all of us being at peace and happy and wonderful. Because, like, you can't have these hard and fast rules and no gray areas and shit, and then come up on situations where you're legitimately looking like a sociopath. In a perfect world, you can't do that. You have to still have empathy. You have to still have care. You have to still, have, you have to still have, the rules can't be hard and fast and shit. I can't think of the word. It's not right. So, like, I don't know the goal, but I do know that patriarchy isn't it, because it's just hurting everybody. You can have this situation where you have these people on top that don't care about other people. They only care about themselves. And then it's not that they care about other men. It's that other men reflect their behaviors, and they don't like that. So they're not going to call it out. But they will throw them niggas under the bus real quick if they need to get to the top. So they don't care about other men. They just care about the behaviors that reflect them. And it's just like, and I'm sorry to that man that was abused by his mama. That's fucked up. It is. I'm sorry that he internalized that shit, and now all black women are this, and it's like, no, like, something was wrong with your mom. And I'm just so happy to see so many black women in particular getting therapy, And I lean into black women. I want to help them so much. I want to help us so much. But if a black man crosses my path, I try to snatch him up. You want help? You want to fix it? No, because they will lead shit. Black men are like under white folks. They can be the model minority if they do everything right. If they, go to school and then basically bow and scrape and massa. Like the Asian folks, they don't have to necessarily massa. They just are automatically assumed to get everything right. So they don't really have to, like, bow and scrape. It's just when shit comes up, that's when they see that, oh no, I can't go visit my grandmother that's dying in China because my supervisor, stupid shit like that. But black men, they can get to that pseudo model minority position. They just have to work harder for it, and they have to bow and scrape for it, and they have to never move from their position. And so a lot of them feel like that's checking off boxes. I just have to get here. Then I have to think about shit. And I have to worry about shit. And I'll never be back in poverty. But it's not just about poverty. See, you're just looking at one goal. Let me get away from poverty. No, nigga. You can't just get away. You gotta look at the whole thing, because that shit is still affecting your mental health when you can't be yourself around your coworkers and you have to mask all the time and feel overwhelmed or upset. And when the layoffs come, you're the first to go because you're black. You're never gonna get that promotion you wanted because you're a black man. Shit like that. Like, it's just like they check off boxes and they think that they don't have to be likable fucking people. So, and black men cross my path, I won't be seen by me and I got space, I'll do it. I'll do that shit immediately. Like, yes, let us breathe. Let us cry. Let us get all of this off so you can be likable and you can like yourself and shit and go out into the world and change things, because if you work hard enough, you can get to the top. And when you get up there, don't forget. You know what I mean? So, yeah, patriarchy's not doing it, though. It's not. So for all the non-predators out there, just notice if you're just focusing on this person for one particular goal and you're not seeing them as a whole. Notice if you're being taken advantage of as much as possible. Consistencies, inconsistencies, things like that, because they gave you a whole timeline on this episode. It's a good episode of why we have to notice these things, because these niggas will love a room full of girl. If that nigga was doing everything right, and on top of that, there was a room full of fucking roses and a baby crib looking like a painting and shit, I would swoon. I would swoon. So imagine being at your lowest emotionally, and he does some shit that's like Picasso worthy. How that would just jerk you up into euphoria. So you're not even like at a nice, even wave of enjoyment. You're just jerked up immediately into this high, and it's just like, what do I say to this? What do I do about this? Jobless, sweaty motherfucking oh, excuse me. God don't like me talking shit about people, but then there shouldn't be people like that in the world, so I'm gonna talk shit. God forgive me. But anyways, that brings us to our next episode, Savage. That was one of the most triggering episodes. And that's what I mean when I say, if a black man crosses my path and I have the opening for him, I will immediately bring like, yes, I am seeing, yes. Yes, let's work. Because it's just like the amount of trauma in that man. Let me just a brief summary of everybody else. So Diamond is still, thirsting for Keyshawn. I want to call her Keyshawn. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with me. He's thirsting for her while fucking Thickums, and Thickums is asking a bunch of stupid ass questions while she's in his apartment, trying to touch his shit and all this other stuff, trying to touch DeMarcus's whatever, Tamaricus, the ring that nigga had from that nigga he killed, or they killed, whoever killed him, I forgot. And so like he's still thirsting after Keyshawn and fucking her. Roulette is low-key trying to pawn off Whisper to this nigga in the club, and she being sneaky and shady, and she fucking Duffy. What's her name? Gidget's ex. What's his name? Or her name? Uncle Clifford's grandmother has COVID. Lord, don't kill this one. I mean, and for it as a show, because it's not real life, and Loretta Devine is live in real life, well, healthy. But you don't want to watch the legends die on television. I don't care. For the context of the show, I can see making room by not having Uncle Clifford be so focused on his grandmother that we can like develop that storyline, especially with Lil Murder. I don't want to see Loretta Devine die on television. I don't care. But I mean, I guess whatever, nigga. I guess, but she got COVID, so I'm just like, it's horrible. It makes me think of that movie The Stand, like how she was coughing and holding her neck and shit. I was like, is her neck gonna swell up like in the stand? It's a good movie, the original one from the 90s. The book is really good too, but the book is the size of like 4 of these books. So I mean, it's a good read. Like I've read in high school, I was sitting up reading Stephen King books all the time and shit. But like, you gotta have the patience for The Stand. I mean, like I said, Stephen King know how to fucking write though. So I was captivated by the story in the book, so I got through it. But like I said, it's a big ass book. So the 1990 version miniseries is the best movie. I tried to watch the new remake. They was cutting the pieces up. They was moving scenes around. This shit didn't make sense. I had to turn it off. I'm not watching the newsstand. I cannot finish it. It isn't. But anyways, I thought her neck was gonna swell up like that, and I was just like, oh, something's wrong with me. Let me see who else. Andre running for mayor. He had the some mansion with all the big wigs and shit, and Haley go there, and Haley is a bad bitch. She basically playing Andre's stupidity against himself. So she's manipulating him. How you can tell, we go back to episode 5, and Keyshawn was talking to Rome about how she provides a fantasy for these men that want to get off, but they will never touch her, so she's always in control. They will never have sex with her. She's always in control. She is doing something that matters for her, because he was trying to make her feel like she ain't shit. And that's what Haley's doing with Andre. When she, after the whole situation, when they was at the party and she was talking to the white woman that held the keys to the kingdom and all this other shit, and letting her know like what her price is for the pank and shit like that, she go to Andre. She was in his house already, and basically she was just like, I'll do whatever you want, you sir. She was calling him sir. And so he had her get on the ground, and then he had her crawl, and then she was like, so what's next? And he just like was stuttering because this is not his game. He doesn't know what the fuck he's he's a weak ass, and she sees it. So in the first season, it kind of felt like Haley liked him, but this season seems like Haley's playing him, and I'm just like, dumb niggas get played. I'm not upset by it because a lot of times when women play men, it's like you don't see it happen too often, and so you're just like, I only get upset when it happens to a good man, like a decent human being, and he was nice and he was loving and he was caring, and you tow him up, like in what's that movie, Two Can Play That Game. Yes, that nigga went out with her to the bar, but the whole rest of that nigga had like a picture that was this big of his girlfriend in his living room as decorate. Girl, where they do that? Where the fuck they? This nigga really, and then he was tired of the games. Like, she thought she was gonna win, and he was like, I'm not playing a game. I'm not trying to win anything. I just want to be with you. Like, we can have a conversation about this. We can figure this out. Like, I made a mistake. I fucked up, and I'm here. And she just went through this whole rigmarole of this fucking game. And I'm just like, okay, girl. So I feel bad when decent niggas get, but when ain't shit niggas getting played, I'm just like, what do you, you emotionally cheated on your wife and left her in the basement. She was a basement wife. So I don't get it, girl. Do what you need to do, ma'am. Yes, I don't. To me, that's called karma. It's karma. You can't be out here playing games on this fuck shit. Like, people live and thrive over at the paint. That has been black folks' land for however long. This man, this woman, and her grandmother, like, and their family and their generations, and it's like, you can't. At least if it's going to get sold, because I don't see how it's not going to get sold, because all of these mayors except for Patrice wants to sell it. But Patrice might just tear it down. Who knows? She might outlaw, stripping in the whole county and shit. Or she may do absolutely nothing about it. Who knows? But like, it's like, at the very least, if it's going to happen, if Haley can get $10 million for it, everybody can get money. Just like she said, you can move, buy the land, open a pink somewhere else, all this other shit. So do what you need to do, bitch. I don't know what the fuck you want me to say. Hopefully if she gives the money to them, because she ran off with that nigga's money. That nigga was beating on her and shit though. So I can't even, when you add abuse to the situation, I don't know what you want me to tell you. She did what she had to do. Like I said, when you do fuck shit, you get fuck shit results. You surround yourself by people that are going to manipulate you and take from you because you take from other people and you manipulate other people and you hurt other people. So I don't know what you want me to say. Like, so like attracts like. You know what I mean? Like if you're a manipulative, hurtful, fucked up person, you're going to attract other people that are going to do the same shit to you. And you're not going to see it coming most of the time. That's how these serial killers and shit get caught. They because they get lazy, because they get cocky, because they don't think they're going to get caught. And so then they get messy. And now you got fingerprints all over somebody. The fucking BTK killer sent a fucking floppy disk. No, first he wrote a letter to the police and he said, if I send a hard disk, could you all track? Like, why wouldn't you just, like, you don't have nobody, a friend that's in IT, you don't have, but sometimes people just want to turn themselves in. They're tired, the gunk of being evil has piled up. Because how could you not know that? Like, I don't understand. I don't fucking understand. No, but I'm glad he did. I'm glad he's gone. He had already spotted some new woman to kill, and I'm just like, no, we're not. I don't understand. So it's like attracts like. And then people end up doing stupid shit because they're not paying attention to the like that you have attracted. You think she's dumb. Corbin thinks Haley's stupid. Okay, girl. Andre now possibly thinks that he's in control of Haley. When no, girl, you're not in control. No. That bitch is playing you like a fiddle. And so, yeah. Hey y'all, so this is future sober Jasmine editing, and I totally forgot to talk about the threesome that happened. It was a small thing, it was a short situation, but basically men are trash. Like I said in the last video, you cheat, I cheat, we cheat together since whatever. And the coach is trash, and he's mad because his wife finally was able to have 15 orgasms at once that he was not able to do and has probably never been able to do. Maybe 15's a lot, but I read somewhere some woman had got like 15 orgasms, and you know what? Anyways, so his wife feels unseen. Mercedes doesn't know what to do. She ran out. She doesn't know she's gonna get that money to get her gym. So it's all been fucked up because this nigga's sensitive nigga is just ruining shit because you can't handle that. People are doing things without you. Even though you do things without other people, you do things without your wife. So anyways, it happened and his wife basically feels unseen. But I noticed that when Mercedes ran out, she didn't say shit. She just looked at her sadly in the face and then turned her back and walked away. And it's like, okay, you were just deeply ingrained into this bullshit ass relationship. Bitch, I would have been had a separate bank account. I always have a backup plan. You're not going to put me in a corner, especially not emotionally, and then expect me to just like bow and scrape and yes master and all sorts of shit because you got the money. You don't get the fuck out my face anyways. So that happened. There was a threesome. The women had fun. The nigga got sensitive. And then Mercedes finds out that her child Terica is pregnant at the end of episode 6. So we will see what happens in episode 7. Let's get to it. This shit was triggering. I don't know. This is what I be talking about like suicide and trauma and how you just spread it and shit. It's crazy. But we got foreshadowing of Teek's death from the beginning of the show. So we all know what happened. If you're watching this, a review of the past show that was 3 or 4 days ago, and obviously, you probably already know and seen and done. God bless people that are out here going through so much pain that they can't see no way out, though. That's horrible. I don't know what to say. But we have foreshadowing of his death from the beginning of the show when he was getting a haircut. And they pulled the camera back a little bit. And we saw the fiddler with the devil behind him and stuff. The whole story about the fiddler. And he made a deal with the devil to be the best fiddler in the world. And he won. And he was the best fiddler in the world. I think the devil came for his soul or some stupid shit like that. I don't know. God bless. I said devil too many times. I'm spiritual. Words words are powerful. You know what I mean? So God bless. Yes. And so we see that, and we see like he's slowly emotionally breaking over the course of the episode. So like when they're at the gas station, like he can't handle large amounts of emotion, even happy. So they're at the gas station and they hear Lil Murda's song on the radio, and Lil Murda's just happy dancing on the car, and he just gets full of emotion. Like it's like he's happy for him, but then also you can see in his face, this man is a good ass actor. I feel like you have had like people put their real selves into their acting. A part of him is like that. Some because look at Johnny Depp. All them characters he was playing, he turned out to have issues. I don't care. You gotta look at his history before all that Amber Heard shit. The man has some stuff going on. Okay, so he put that shit into his characters. I think that this man put that shit into his characters. So yeah, I'm just like, he's just cracking, and I think Lil Murda can tell that he's cracking, because every time he looks at his face, like even earlier in the day when he first gave Teak the car, like Teak just was sitting there, he was so overwhelmed with emotions that he couldn't deal with. You can't, if you never learned how to deal with your emotions and release them so that they can just go away, then everything is too much. Stub my toe is too much. I didn't eat breakfast. I'm hungry by lunchtime. I can't deal with the feeling of hunger. It's bringing up emotions. Like I was driving like home the other day, and I was just like, you know what? When I don't get enough sleep and get enough food, I'm really irritable and tired, and like my emotions just regress to like this whole 21-year-old angsty upset person. It's like, oh shit. So like today I slept in all day, didn't leave, just relaxed and chilled out, and I was like, you know what, I need this. I need a day during the week just to sleep, because I can't function without proper sleep and rest and relaxation. So as I get older, my goal in life is to find as much relaxation and peace as possible, and people that do not bring me peace on a consistent basis. Now, you know, people, I'm not saying I'm not gonna be around you if you're depressed or shit like, but you need to be doing things about that yourself too, because I can be here for you as a friend. You know, you're going through shit, but I'm not gonna be your only thing. I'm not gonna be your friend therapist. I'm not doing, no, I do that enough for work. I cannot do that on a regular basis in my friends. So you need to be working on, so I go to therapy. Why aren't you going to therapy for this thing, Catherine? Why aren't you going to therapy for this thing, Delia? Like, y'all need to go to therapy for these things, because you keep talking to me for 3 or 4 hours about the same shit, and it's not getting better, and I can't, because it's making me anxious. It's making me anxious. It's been about 3 months that we've been hanging out, you two, and I just, it's making me anxious. So no, I can't do that. So you gotta know yourself, and it took me time to learn myself. Like I didn't start like really getting into learning about myself until I was like 30. Like just really like practicing mindfulness, learning about ways to deal with my emotions, you know, things like that. I just started going to therapy last year. Shit like cause all the things you've been through, you just think you can just keep living in it cause it feels normal, until you're trapped like Teak was, and you absolutely think that there's no way out. There is always a way out. It's just, it takes a lot of hard work, and it's sad. It's just like, it's like you gotta hurt yourself again to heal, and I can see how that could be daunting for people. But once you're healed, man, this shit is fucking amazing. Like it's like a little death, and then you're in heaven on earth. That's what it feels like. And yeah, shit still happens, like bad shit and like stuff and whatever, and you got to figure things out. But overall, you just know that those are moments, and you just get through them, and then you're back to like things being regular, and that shit feels amazing. That shit feels amazing. Like if I had missed out on this part of my life, I would have been so upset. Like to know that I could get to a place where it's like a little heaven on earth. It's like I'm chill. And that shit is crazy. Like all the shit I've been through, all the shit that I like experienced, and the fucked up people that I've been around, and all this other shit. It's just like things are like still. And at first it felt weird. So I was used to things being just still. But it's nice. Like, I even got back to like reading hardcore. Like, I had stopped reading for a while. Like in high school, that was all I would do was read. And then I was making like a little earring thing earlier, and I was just like, it was like I was trying to put the little pieces and do different colors and little molds, and the little mold was like this little hole, and I was trying to stick the thing because I was doing mushrooms and stuff. So you put the little white parts and then you put the color part on top. So I couldn't get it in there, and I was like, you know what? If I was doing this like even 6 months ago, I would have threw this shit up against like, fuck this shit. But I like felt it a little bit, and then I was just like, I just ignored it. And I was like, I was so proud of myself. I was like, I felt the irritation rise up, and I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna figure this shit out. So I sat back, took a deep breath, did it again, took another deep breath, until eventually I made it. I made the little mushroom earrings and shit. It's magical. I like them little things. I'm gonna make little interesting, little artistic things and shit. It's gonna be so fun. And so you just find shit like that helps you practice like being settled in your body and in your emotions, and then it's just amazing. And it's just like, it's so fucking hard to get there, but it's like magical when you're there. And it's like, I just want that. I want that for everybody, especially black people, because we've been through so much shit. It's not fair, and we deserve it. And so I'm just like, Teak was one of those brothers that we just didn't make it. And it's fucked up. It's fucked up. And you know, he was sitting in that car. He just couldn't anymore. And the fucked up part is like, now Lil Murda has the same trauma Teak had. Like, you know, and that's common. Like, that's why people are in jail, is because they experience trauma and normalize it, and for the rest of their life they just kept repeating it until they ended up in jail. Like, so I wasn't surprised that he had been traumatized when he was a kid. And you know, he saw his mama snap and sound like she had some mental stuff going on and things like that, and killed his siblings, and he ran for the house and he hid in the closet, and that was his hole. That was his first hole. It was his first solitary confinement. And how he, for the rest of his life, he felt like he should have been dead too, like his siblings. And I'm just like, and then they put him back in another closet for however long. They don't question us. They don't ask us what's wrong. They don't ask us, you know, how we feeling, where is it coming from. They're not patient with us to help, you know, to wait so that we can learn how to like be calm in a calm space. They don't do that for black folks. So, you know, I try to do that for black folks. I try to create a space. At least that's the small thing I can do to see some progress. And you know these spaces that I be trying to create with the help of God. Yes, Lord, it ain't just me. I don't care. It ain't just me. No, I feel frail and fragile in most of these fucking situations. Just be like, these people are listening to me. It's weird, but I'm just gonna keep talking, and you know, stuff's gonna happen. And if I say something fucked up, hopefully I can rectify it. I don't know. You know, you come on shit inebriated, shit just be coming out your mouth, and you just be like, well, you know, it sounds funny. Maybe people won't be too upset. Who knows? Ooh. But anyways, yeah. It's just, that nigga could have been saved. He just would have had to want to be saved and want to do the work. It's like exercising, and you know, like people can't get into like diets and exercising and stuff. Like that's hard. Like I tried to exercise like 3 times a week. I did a little gym here. I ain't exercising. I ain't done that shit in a month. It's just hard. Like you just don't feel like getting up. It's far. It's like you gotta walk. The things we tell ourselves, you know what I mean? Like, so like if it's so hard to like be healthy and shit, some fine motivation to do shit like that. Like if you was a full vegan, a balanced diet vegan, because you can eat bad shit if you vegan too, because they be eating a bunch of carbs and shit and getting heart disease. So you know, balanced diet vegan, like you probably live as long as Moses. I mean, that's all we used to do to change the world, but because all of our emotions get in the way and we just focusing on ourselves and shit, we're probably just gonna like blow up this shit. It's gonna be some bullshit. So it's like, I'm upset. T could have been saved. He could have been. I don't care. I don't care. You got these countries where like they just like making machines. So like if you get depressed and you've done everything you could possibly do and you're still depressed, like you can just take yourself out, just in the machine. And I'm just like, is it possible to get that far where you just like, I can't accept it. I'm sorry. I mean, like, I feel like everyone should do what they want to do with their bodies as long as it's safe and doesn't harm other people or yourself. And if some countries make it legal for you to harm yourself, I don't know. I can't. I'm sorry. I do not believe that people should kill themselves. I feel like you need to try everything that you can do. Now there's that ethical shit where like, oh, you've been in a coma all like for 50 years and this is like hurting your body and killing you and shit and it's horrible and you're being tortured. Like, your body's being fucking tortured. Like, I don't, like that's a physical, like, see, this is hard. I can't accept death like just killing yourself. Like, I just can't accept it. I'm just gonna be honest with that. I'm gonna sit in that. It is what it is. I'm not gonna judge anybody. I'm just gonna sit in that, and I'm gonna do everything that I can do to prevent it. Because basically, what happened is that pain, that energy, was just transferred over into Lil Murder, and so now he has to carry the trauma of seeing his friend blow his brains out in front of him and shit, and he's gonna have to live with that. Hopefully he heals. Hopefully he goes to therapy. Hopefully he, does all the things and gets better. But I don't know. Who knows? So I'm just like, it didn't do anything. Like, killing yourself doesn't do anything. It just spreads it. It spreads it around. So I don't know. I just feel so upset that he was going through all that. Like, and then to know that there's a lot of black men out there going through shit like that. Like, what do you do? Y'all gotta go to therapy. Y'all gotta at least try. Like, find you. Like, try a few times. Try. Because you also have to recognize that when you're dealing with no matter who you're dealing with, what their status is, what their job title is, they're still a human being at heart. That's why the people in the Supreme Court, could tear down Roe versus Wade, because it wasn't about the people, for the people, by the people. It was about how they felt about shit, their emotions. So people are going to bring their emotions into every single situation they're in. It doesn't matter if they're supposed to be professional or not. If you say some fuck shit and trigger them the wrong way, then they're gonna call you a fucking bitch in front of people. Like you can see their face squinch up and they get all upset and they try to hold it in and shit. And like, girl, please. So when you're looking for a therapist, you're looking for somebody that you like as a person and as a professional. So you're interviewing people. Basically, you're just interviewing them. Like, do a 15-minute consultation if they offer it on their, like, Psychology Today or Therapy for Black Girls or Latinx Therapy or Therapy for Black Men or something like that. Like, if they offer a 15-minute consultation, do the 15-minute consultation. Usually you can tell in 15 minutes if this person is, like, a decent person and maybe will help you. Or, oh, no, I don't like, that's not, no. And you can read their profiles, too, and shit. And so if you're looking for something in particular, I suggest trauma therapy for everybody. And if you go in there and you realize, oh, I'm pretty chill, nothing wrong with me, you can go find you another therapist that works on other things, or you can just like take a break. I don't think therapy, it has to be something you sit in for 20 years and shit like that. That's dumb. Like, therapy is like an island that you come to refuel. And then when you feel like you can handle the ups and downs of life without going to severe emotional extremes on a consistent basis, then you tug that ship along and you go live your life and shit. And then like some shit happens, like your grandma dies or some shit 15 years from now. And you go back to the island like, oh, this is horrible and I'm thinking about killing myself again and da-da-da, and I haven't thought about this in like da-da-da amount of time and shit. Then it's like, oh, okay. We'll work on this shit, do the shit. It's like you gotta think of like the therapist as a coach And the things we work on is like plays in the book, the playbook. And basically, you are just learning mental plays for yourself so that in certain situations that are triggering for you, you learn how to release those negative emotions so you can deal with the situation and then like move on from that, instead of like, oh, this bitch, she looked at me weird, and then you're thinking about it for the rest of the fucking week. She doesn't like me, I don't want to go to work today. I was like, no girl, and it should be initially off-putting, like, oh, what's she looking at, whatever, but then it should be like a quick like whatever. That's the goal, to get to that. Because it's not interfering with your life. It's not. It's really not. Unless she gets in your face and starts talking shit, then it's like, and even then, I love a professional read, because a professional read makes you look like the winner all the time. And then they look like something's wrong with them because they couldn't keep it professional. And you're just like, what's wrong, Karen? Do you need some milk? There's some milk in the refrigerator. Do you want some water? Oh, you're sweating. Oh, let me get the paper. Guys, Karen is sweating and she's just salivating. I don't know. All I told her was to not touch my leftovers because I don't have any other lunch and I'm on a special diet. And she just was like, kept eating my lunch from at work, and then she just started calling me nigger. And sweating, and I'm just trying to help her cool off because it looks like she, deep breaths, Karen. You gotta pull white people on the white people, and it's fucking funny. And everybody's just looking at her, and they're just looking at you, and then they know they should be reacting to you, but you're not doing anything. It's magical. It's like when you can get there where it's funny as fuck, but you have to be in like a more powerful situation. So it's like for you to get fully there, you have to feel like really powerful. And so, yeah, it takes a lot of work to get to them type places. I don't know what else to say. I'm getting sad. Like, every time I think about that shit, like, I get sad. And I'm just like, this man was a good actor. Like, he is a good fucking... I love an actor that can make me feel and think things. Even if it's upsetting. And like, even that Orville shit, like them killing that man's kids and shit, it was horrible. It wasn't like an obvious like twist. It was like some psychological shit. And I've been thinking about that shit for the whole week. And I'm just like, how you just gonna go from we love people and we make people cry every episode because we're such happy, empathetic folks, to we killed this man's kid and wife. And then we tried to justify it. Then we made him justify it. I am just hoping that the end of this season will be that instead of actually killing his kids and his wife, their actions created a separate universe that cut off, and this nigga still has his kids and his wife, and now he wants revenge. And so basically them going and interfering with his life caused the shit they were trying to avoid. I need it. I don't care. I need it. And then we can all be like, see, this way you shouldn't be so high and mighty. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the fuck I was talking about, but God bless people out there that are so sad that they can't go on. Lord, help them to find happiness, contentment. Because happiness is still kind of extreme. Contentment, that no matter what happens in life, I intrinsically know that I will be okay. So I'm going to be a decent ass person. Because why not? Because it feels good to know that you're going to be okay. And I want other people to know that they're going to be okay too. and just be able to live that life, you know. So bad shit still happens, but you gotta get through it and shit most of the time. In a positive way, hopefully. Okay, I'm done. Let me know what you guys think about the shows and the episodes, whatever I was talking about. No, I can do. Oh my gosh, let me turn this shit off. Later days.